Hey guys, this is lesson 23 and let's go ahead and get started with our first page. And we are starting off with some division. So they already have it formatted for us, so all we gotta do is just divide 7,039 by 343. Okay? So, first, we gotta ask ourselves, how many times does 343 go into 7? Obviously 0 times, right? Because why? Because 343 is larger than 7. Okay, then how about 70? Well, it's still 0 times because 343 is still larger than 70. Then how about 703? Oh, now 343 is smaller than 703 and it goes in 2 times, right? And so what's 343 times 2? It is 686. We subtract and we get 17, right? Bring down the 9, so now we have 179. So now we again ask, how many times does 343 go into 179? Well, 0 times, right? And so we get a remainder of 179, and our answer is 20 with a remainder of 179. Okay? Then let's look at number 2. Let's erase this. Okay. Okay, now we're dividing 3,747 by 87. And again, we're asking ourselves, how many times does 87 go into 3? 0 times. How about 37? Still 0 times. How about 347? 374, sorry. 374. Well, it goes into 374 4 times, right? And then we multiply 4 by 87 and we get 348. We subtract, we get 26, right? Bring down the 7, and again we ask ourselves, how many times does 87 go into 267? Well, it goes in 3 times. Again, 3 times 87, we get 261. Subtract 6, and so we get a remainder of 6, and our answer is 43 with a remainder of 6. Okay? So we've tried the first 2 questions together, so now you guys could try the rest on your own, and then we will move on to our second page. So 3D shapes and nets. Identify the 3D shape formed by each net, and we're looking at number 1. Okay, well first, let's list some characteristics, right? So we see 6 so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? We see 6 faces. Here, let's do it over here. So 6 faces that are rectangles, right? And then they all have right angles. So right angles. And we observe that it has a same cross section along a length, right? The same cross section along length. And what does that mean? Well, that means it's a prism, right? This makes it a prism. Okay? And so, with these information, we could go ahead and figure that this net is going to form a rectangular prism. Okay? Rectangular prism. Okay? So it has 6 faces are rectangles and it is a prism, so we figured out that it is a rectangular prism. So hopefully this isn't too challenging for you guys. And just finish this page, and we are going to move on to our next page. So now we have to figure out the area of a square, and we're asked to find the area of each square for the given side length. So before we get into it, we know that a square has four sides with all same equal lengths, right? And for number 1, we are given the information that the side length equals 5/2 yards. Okay? And so to find the area, and we know the area is equal length times width, right? In this case, or for a square, we know that it's going to be here. That's going to be side times side. So 5/2 times 5/2, right? And so our area is going to be 25/4 yards square. Or, since that's an improper fraction, you could also put 6 1/4 yards square. Okay? So just use this formula over here and try to solve the rest of the questions. And then let's go ahead and we are on our last page and we're looking at number 1. Okay. So Mary's marriage to John last weekend was very wonderful. 20 private cars and 12 buses were parked outside the hall after the ceremony. Each bus carried 35 people, and each private car carried 3 people. Okay, so how many people were in the hall? So we are looking for the total, right? The total number of people that attended the wedding. And so, how do we calculate that? Well, first, there were 35 people on 12 buses. Okay. And then what's the next information that's given? 20 private cars carry 3 people. Okay. And so when we do the math, that's 20, right? That's the people on bus. And then that's 60. 20 times 3, 60 people on cars. So to figure out the total, we just add those two and we get 480 as our answer. Okay? So 480 people in total. Okay? So that's it. Finish the worksheet, and then here is your answer key.